Hey, guys, are you on your phone?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Shaving my balls.
You don't use your phone for that.
No, but you could be hooking yourself up with the things that you need to do for man grooming. And remember,
Right.
Manscaped is a lot more than just shaving your balls, as Steve so eloquently put it. There's shampoo, there's conditioner, there is deodorants, there are all sorts of things that you'll love.
Moisturizing mist.
100%. Absolutely. It smells really good. So if you want to, go to manscaped.com, use that promo code Dangle. Steve's or Jesse's doing it right now.
I am.
Right now.
Use the promo code Dangle for 20% off and free shipping.
Woo! Let's get the
great.
show started. Press the button.
SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
I want you to know that I have several cans of bubbly cold after last show being called out. I'm drinking strawberry today. And I'm also drinking blackberry. And no, they are not a show sponsor, as much as I want them to be. If anybody works at Bubbly, please call us.
I mean,
I
at
just
this
drink
point,
it a lot.
Why would you pay for it? Like, if you were bubbly.
Wow,
like,
if you guys are going to buy me this much bubbly every birthday, it's going to last me 2 to 3 weeks. It's amazing.
2 to 3 weeks.
I know.
Got you 6 boxes.
Can I just take a moment's pause? Jesse's still working on that Manscaped code, I think. Still working on it.
I was posting the LFR. I don't know what he's doing.
I know.
I'm sending you a text message for this show.
I know. I'm stretching because I need you all engaged on this one thing.
Okay.
Okay. So when Jesse's ready, we're going to get there.
Matthews had 6.
No, not yet. Not yet. Jesse's not there. Okay, he sent it. Are you ready?
Oh, okay. I was like, if we need to stretch time, I can do my Alan Walsh impression.
Hey,
We'll save that.
Auston Matthews got 60 freaking goals last night, baby.
Hey, last night alone,
Oh, he got 60 goals against Detroit.
Detroit's so bad.
By the way, Detroit played like it was game 81 last night.
Yeah, well, they were missing players, and they don't have many players to miss.
But I was looking at the shots like midway through the second. It was like 34-16 or something. It's like
there weren't really many moments in the game where it was close.
Yeah.
Yeah, after the first 5 minutes, the Leafs were like, all right, that's enough.
And you know what? I get it. For Detroit, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, Jack was sharp on the penalty kill, and Matthews made it 1-0. The game was over.
100%.
Okay. It was. Like,
Yeah. Well, it was great to see him get the last 2. I would assume he's going to sit against Boston on Friday
he
night.
must.
So, listen, he's the first guy in 10 years to do this.
Uh-huh.
I think of one of 3 active NHL players, Ovi and Stammer being the other 2.
Noted wash-up Stamkos.
Garbage player.
Just got his first 100-point season. That's so funny.
I know. Listen, he wasn't great in the playoffs last year when I said it. I understand why you're dunking on me, but he wasn't. But now he is. I was wrong.
We've had the conversation before. Like, careers riddled by injuries are not linear, and he's on his way back up.
It's amazing.
Can I read the Yari Curry record he broke last night? Or
Who,
he tied?
Matthews or Stammer?
Steven Stamkos.
Okay, and then we got to get back to Matthews.
Since we're here on Adam Wilde Hates Steven Stamkos talk.
Oh, my God.
Stamkos, with 3 points last night, became the first player since Yari Curry in 92-93 to record 5 consecutive games with 3+ points.
Wow.
5 in a row, 3 points. The all-time record is 6. So he is 1 game with 3 points away from tying Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky, and Yari Curry for the record of most consecutive games with 3+ points.
So this dude was like 15, 20 points back of 100 like last week.
So this 100, this century mark is even more impressive considering the streak he's had to go on to hit it.
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, also, can we just
Power play special.
Little shout out to Yari Curry, who never gets the deserved shout outs he needs. He was 2 points shy of 1,400. He should have just played a couple games, got his
Babcock
points.
his last coach?
Yeah,
No,
Mike
he
Babcock
wasn't. No, his last coach, I think, was actually probably Mark Crawford. Not much better at that point. No, Mark Crawford was known as a dick back then. He was.
But a successful dick.
He played in Colorado. If anybody has, by the way, a Yari Curry New York Rangers jersey, or an Anaheim Ducks jersey, which
you stole Yari Curry's jersey.
Yeah, you did. Yari Curry played 14 games for the New York Rangers after a very long, very successful career with Edmonton and the Kings. So let's talk about this Matthews thing. I have to give EA Sports a huge shout out here. I did love this graphic. I always wondered if they kept track of this. and they said 60 goals plus 26.6 million scored in NHL 22. That's how many goals players playing with Auston Matthews have scored
Online.
And at least a quarter of those are mine.
I was actually thinking Jesse with his video game streams.
No, that wouldn't have counted.
Oh no,
Because they can't track me in offline GM mode.
Okay,
It have to be in Hut, where you get his card. Those are how many goals he scored. That's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
That's how it's. Jesus,
Yeah.
that actually feels like quite a lot.
It does.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's an impressive number.
That's a crazy amount of goals.
Wow.
Yeah. So, obviously seeing it happen, it was lovely. Jesse, Steve, and I actually got out for dinner last night, so we
very nice.
got to see it together. And I think it was cool because the bar sort of erupted too when it happened. And I think that the focus of Toronto is so interesting right now because, yes, every fan is very excited about this, but very much fans have been waiting for what happens next week all year. You know what I mean? It's almost like the 60 goals thing is like, yeah, but okay, we got to think about the first round. And I feel like you got to take a moment, if you haven't already, to embrace and enjoy this. This has never happened before.
And it's not all the time we give credit to Toronto fans in Scotiabank Arena doing the right thing and being
true,
being like on the intelligent fan base side. But last night when Auston hit 60,
they lost.
There was a 5-minute standing ovation.
It was really
like
it was long.
It bled into the face-off. You know, like it was great to see from the Toronto crowd him getting the recognition there.
It's there was a great video I saw this morning. And it showed you the vibe of the building. No one gave a shit about the score of that game. Nobody cared. The Leafs were on the power play, and this guy had his phone out, and he was just following Matthews. Just following Matthews, and he got the 60th goal. And you really get I love the fan shots where the screen is immediately blocked by a sea of hands. Because everyone just goes, ah! They just freak out. Because that's exactly what it was. And it's almost like now we're allowed to go into the playoffs in a good mood. You know what I mean? Doesn't it? If the Leafs go into the playoffs and Matthews is at 59, you can't tell me it's not a different vibe.
It hurts a little. It hurts a little.
It hurts a lot. It hurts him.
Yeah.
And I think the fans go, oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If Matthews right now was at 59, do you play him on Friday?
Yes.
Oh, man.
And then send him home once he scores.
That's so tough. Yeah, literally bench him after. Yeah.
No, just send him off the ice. Just don't even bench him.
Yeah, you take 9 shots this first period and then leave.
I think it was pretty easy to tell, like, in the first half of the game, how hard, like, the Leafs were looking for him. Everybody's looking for him. And having him out there for both power play units, and it turns out it's Spezza and was it Blackwell? Getting are his line mates when he scores 59.
He he had 7 shots on goal. No other Leaf had more than 4.
Amazing.
Like, it was very obvious what was going on.
Although, to be honest, that's most nights.
Yeah. But like Tavares looked upset with himself when he scored. Like he's
like, that should have been Austin.
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He broke an 8-game streak, by the way. 8-game goalless streak.
Tavares?
Tavares, yeah.
Man, I don't know why. It doesn't feel like it.
I know. And that's because, again, we keep talking about how Tavares is useful in other ways. Even when he's not. That's why he's such a great player, is that when he isn't scoring, people aren't like, fuck, he didn't do anything.
Well, and he's at like 75 points.
Yeah.
Like he's fine.
If I'm not mistaken, and this is going back to his Islanders days, Islanders fans, you can correct me if I'm wrong. He's always been streaky.
People are not going to like this. His production reminds me of Matt Sundin.
Interesting. Why?
Because like he's not among the world beaters of the league, but he's just very consistently great every year.
Yeah.
70,
point
80,
a game-ish guy.
70, 75. So yeah, point a game-ish guy.
Yeah.
Actually, since he joined the Leafs, I believe he's above that.
Oh yeah,
So,
certainly is.
Yeah, he's A-okay.
Yeah. So
among my worries, he is not one of them.
So here's the thing. Here's what's left. And again, I think Steve, you and I are both going to be at the game Friday. Jesse last night was talking like he was going to pick up tickets and go. Although I think
I was just kidding.
I think he's full of poo. He's full of poo on that one.
I have a stream to do.
We're not sure who's actually going to play on Friday on either side.
I hope I see as few Leafs as possible.
100%. However, Mitch Marner is 3 points away from 100.
Oh, boy.
3 points.
Yeah, no points last night. Disappointing.
Which is crazy.
And he's going to play so much in the playoffs, though.
Right. So at that point, at 9, because he's at 97, if you're Mitch, obviously you want to get Mitch's biscuits, but at the same time, I'm sure Mitch Marner probably doesn't care. He probably is like, yeah, I would have liked it, but maybe sitting is the best option.
He cares.
You think he cares?
Why weren't we saying that about Matthews?
Yeah.
Well, I think Mitch Marner's has he not done 100 points before?
No.
He's done a 100-point pace.
He's never hit 100.
He's sort of like him and Auston have been screwed for these milestones because of just the way
the COVID schedule and all
Austin
that.
had never hit 50.
Yeah,
until this year.
50.
Yeah.
If you go by Jesse Blake hat trick rules, he still hasn't.
Yeah. Well, technically, he's a 60-goal scorer.
He's never been a 50-goal scorer.
He's not a 50-goal scorer this year. When you're talking about Auston Matthews, you're going to say he's a 60-goal scorer.
Oh, man.
He's got a 60-goal season. We'll see if next year he can get the elusive 50.
Yeah. You need to sit on the 50.
He's such a dick.
That's such a baseball thing too. It's like they hit for the cycle, but I didn't hit for the cycle. I hit 2 doubles instead of 1.
No, or I
double
hit
and a single.
like 3 home runs instead.
Yeah, but hitting for the cycle is better. I don't understand that at all.
It's not better. It's a stat.
Yeah,
Vladdy hit 3 home runs in a game if only he had hit for the cycle.
Yeah, if only had a single, double, and a triple.
So so now that Matthews has got his 60, and by the way, his post game with Sean McKenzie was awesome. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't.
But he's just very honest. It was like, he's like, yeah, I was really hoping, I really wanted it.
Oh, I did see that.
And
yes.
he's like, and it was really great, to hear the crowd into it. And Austin is obviously, I know that Auston Matthews is a personality, but rarely does he show it in front of the media. And, he's got to be guarded and protected in a city like Toronto, very intense media scrutiny. But it was great to see him just be honest and go, yeah, I really wanted that, and it was awesome.
He dropped his guard. Yeah, he doesn't often do that.
And I think in this time he can. And it was cool to see Sheldon Keefe say not many people like him in hockey anywhere.
No.
So I thought that was neat. Mitch Marner, I want to get back to that quickly. Do you start him on Friday, guys?
Okay, Muzzin has very obviously had his schedule maintained. I don't know how you watched carefully. Matthews has sat out of caution. Sounds like Bunting is sitting out of caution-ish. Tavares got a load management game. Is Mitch gonna get one? I know he doesn't seem like the sort of guy who needs it. Like, he never does.
He's got Energizer Bunny energy.
Even when he's struggling, you're never like, Mitch Marner looks tired.
Never.
It's almost like he's trying too hard.
Yes.
But he's going to play against the Lightning. He's going to play like 23 minutes a night.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh boy. I think that's up to Sheldon Keefe. Sheldon Keefe has to talk to Marner and say, what do you want? If he wants it, you let him try and get it. But I almost worry if he doesn't get it, because it's 3 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's Boston. Like, how many players have gotten 3 points against the Boston Bruins this year? Like, it's not a gimme. If he doesn't get it, I almost wonder if it's going to screw with him a little bit.
Why? But then here's the other side of it, because sometimes players say, like, if let's say a big team sweeps a not so good team in the first round, and then they have to wait a week for their opponent, and they come out and they're rusty. Because here's the thing, Marner, if he doesn't play, when do the playoffs actually start? They say May 2nd.
Yeah, I think Tuesday.
So that could be Tuesday to Tuesday, not playing.
No, you guys. Give Marner the day off. Like, he's not.
I'm just bringing up both sides here. I mean, I'm fully on day off side.
See, but I'd rather give an older guy the day off.
Can't you do
older or injury guy?
The injury risk is too much. Like, you don't want Austin out there. If Marner has to play him 5 minutes. Like, I don't want to see Mitch Marner touch the ice. There's no reason for it. You have to take advantage of being a team that has the benefit of sitting on home ice with a couple games to go, and you're in the playoffs. You have to take advantage of that and give the guy just some rest. There's 3 points isn't it. Like, 3 points it's not 1 point. 3 points is too much to throw him out there for a full game just to try and get that. If that's the reason you're doing it, that's bad coaching.
I have a Marner,
that's bad team management.
Marner, Tavares, Willie line. Actually, no, because Tavares shouldn't be playing either. Here's what I want to know, because the rules are they're too much. I want to know what the maximum amount of players the Leafs can call up is. That's who should play.
Yeah, I'd love to know how many Marlies you can get on the roster.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Oh, yeah.
Robertson should be in that game. Joey Anderson should be in that game. Curtis Douglas should make his NHL debut. Carl Dahlstrom should be in that game. Everyone. Christians Rubens. Why not?
Yeah.
Everyone who's
They should all be playing.
It
all
would
of them.
be
Michael Hutchinson should start.
And do you not
Like,
think
that's not a joke.
No, it's not. It's super not.
Do you not think that too for the Bruins, like they've got the Sabres tomorrow, then they get the Leafs Friday. I know they could still potentially catch the Leafs.
No, they can't.
They can't catch Tampa at all?
No.
Yes, they can.
They can.
They can.
Because Tampa's at 80, they're at 80.
Tampa needs 1 point. No, well, this is the thing. So
We're being
Friday's-
exact about it. But
Friday's
you're right,
game-
Jesse.
No, like it's been over, you guys.
No, but
Stop
theoretically,
trying to force this.
Friday, the Leafs could basically choose their playoff opponent.
It could happen.
Theoretically. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, no, totally, it's a thing.
Well,
Let's
it
debate
is a thing.
No, let's
it's a
debate it.
thing.
No, it's gonna happen.
I think if you're the Leafs,
It's
you
gonna
let the
be-
cards fall where they fall.
Right. Well, the Lightning have the Blue Jackets tomorrow, and the Bruins have the Sabres. And both teams will finish the season on the end of a back-to-back. I imagine that the Lightning are probably going to want to put that one away. But the Blue Jackets aren't an easy out. Not always.
No, well, and especially not with the Lightning, because strangest rivalry ever. They just hate each other and always face
Why
each
is
other.
that? Why do they hate each other?
Dogged playoff matchups, man. The Blue Jackets humiliated the Lightning, like literally their most humiliating defeat in franchise history. Followed by the bubble where Tampa beat them in a quintuple overtime in game one.
Game 2. Wasn't it game 2?
Game one.
It was game
Game
1.
one, and Braden Point finished it.
Right.
Tampa, I can't
Forgot
remember if
about that.
Tampa swept them or if it was in 5. And then they win the cup. So the full redemption arc, right? And then I can't remember. Did they play each other again? They've played each other at least twice.
There's no way that if, like, and Jesse's right, like the chances of the playoff positions changing at this point are pretty slim.
It's very unlikely, but you never know. Man.
In Friday in Toronto, Bruins Leafs, very unlikely we see Marchand, Bergeron, those types of guys, right?
Especially Bergeron. Yeah, he's been battling stuff, and I think Pasta's been battling stuff. This should, honest to goodness, be the Marlies versus Providence.
And why not? You know what? I always think it's first off, it's fun to see what the other players look like.
Yeah.
Second, you get deep in the playoffs, you're going to need some depth options. I think it's good for Sheldon Keefe because you think about a head coach, right? And they talk about this from time to time in media and stuff that oftentimes a head coach for the NHL team will call the AHL coach and go, "Who do you like?"
Yep.
Because what
That's
choice,
exactly how it
what
works.
chance would they have to really evaluate that team?
Mm-hmm.
And what chance? A lot of the times, the AGM is obviously very involved with the AHL team, but like Kyle Dubas, how many times is he going to be able to see a Marlies game throughout the year? 5, 6?
Oh, I think it's more than that.
Yeah?
I think it's different for the Leafs because they're in the same city, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah, but a lot of GMs, I don't think it's that situation. I wonder how many GMs have to miss their own NHL games to be at AHL games.
I'm sure it does happen. I know that.
Does happen.
Okay.
And
So
with the Boston Tampa situation, if you're Boston, you don't want to win. I would much rather face Carolina than the Leafs.
Well, they're both
Really?
teams they've beaten.
Carolina has confirmed that Frederick Anderson will not be there for the first series of the playoffs.
The whole first series.
He's expected late in round 1 or not in round 1 at all.
Ooh.
can't lose the first round if you're not playing in it.
Damn. Yo, what if he's sick from the second round onward, though?
Oh.
And that's been the secret the whole time.
That was the trick.
That was the trick.
Just get a
If
basket.
I'm Boston and I'm comfy, also Tampa's gonna pick up a point. It's
yes.
Tampa Toronto, you guys. Let's start previewing it.
Well, one thing we
gotta
are
save
going
it.
to do on
save
Monday. Monday show is going to be special because we're going to go through. Oh, sorry. Actually, should we do it Friday show or Monday show? Because Friday show we could go
Monday.
through our preseason picks
Oh.
and give ourselves a report card about how bad we were.
See,
People have started to bring that up, right? Because we did all those preview episodes.
That's weird. Like, should we be doing that before the playoffs or should we be doing that after the playoffs?
Oh,
No, because they were regular season predictions.
they were regular season.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I don't know.
we could do it on Friday.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll figure it out.
It's going to be. I think that that Canes Bruins series is going to be very, very interesting. The one that
that's where it lands.
I'm really, really looking forward to this one is Washington, Florida, because there's a 20-point gap between the two of them right now, and the team with 120 points is the team with the most pressure.
Oh, easily.
Easily.
And
what's Washington got to lose?
They're both so chaotic.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be wild. That's going to be a great series.
I think Washington's actually a really interesting matchup for the Panthers because this year's Panthers have a lot of like 2017 Caps energy where they wreck shop, but they do it in such a, they're not going to win in the playoffs style.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But we just watch them crush opponents night in and night out. But if the Caps, it's sort of like how the Leafs did. If the Caps score the first goal in game one.
Oh, yeah. It just feels a bit different, doesn't it?
Just a little. Now, the Panthers are not, they've come back a number of times. And the amount of overtime wins can't be understated either.
For Tampa?
Yeah.
They have 13 wins that are literally impossible to get in the playoffs. There are going to be no 3-on-3 overtime goals in these playoffs. I can almost guarantee it. It's not impossible, but it's extraordinarily unlikely. Right?
Uh-huh.
So that's it's a really interesting matchup for them. The weathered Capitals against the new kids on the block. Not that any of them are really kids, but
So this is the one I think I'm going to move on to something that I think.
Here, Adam, before we move on.
Yeah.
Let me try one last thing, and then if it doesn't happen, just read it.
Okay.
Steve, wasn't it crazy that Matthews scored and then got Friday off, like just before the game? Like we were like, okay, is he going to score 2 goals and then take off Friday? And then he did it. Isn't that wild? You ever seen anything like that happen before?
Yeah, Ovechkin.
Yeah. What happened with Ovechkin?
What is it? Because I've said it 1,000 times.
Adam, read what I texted you before the show.
Broken record Steve Dangle will say on this episode, there was a season a few years ago where Alexander Ovechkin was 2 goals away from 60. And on the second last game of the season, he scored a hat trick and took the final game off.
Listen, I have LFRs, hat picks, dang it, the streams, this goddamn show. And sometimes I don't remember what stories I've told people. I don't assume everyone is just consuming Steve Dangle content 24 hours a day. And sometimes I repeat myself.
I've never heard you tell that story before.
Well, it's crazy though, because a few years ago, Alexander Ovechkin.
I thought you were going to come in here, and within the first 10 minutes of the show, you were going to mention that Ovechkin had scored a hat trick.
I didn't do it.
And you didn't do it, and I'm proud of you, and you proved me wrong.
Damn it.
I'm impressed.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing
I'm impressed.
repeating yourself and not knowing it.
You didn't, though.
I ever tell the zoo story about? Oh, yeah,
hey,
I have.
So, I've done this before, but I'm going to ask again. Jesse, do you do therapy?
Yes.
Steve, do you do therapy?
Yes.
I also do therapy. And I have to tell you, BetterHelp is an option for you if you're thinking about it. And the thing about BetterHelp that's different and special is that you can kind of choose the avenue by which you receive the therapy that you're looking for. And I think sometimes people are always a little bit intimidated. I can remember before my first therapy session, I had no idea what to expect. And that's why BetterHelp's cool, because you have the opportunity to meet online, like on a video chat, or you can video chat, I say, like you can talk over video, or you can just kind of text each other, essentially.
Going for your first one is the hardest. It's the hardest part, and it's the most important part.
It is. And this is the thing. So it's much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can give it a try online and see if therapy can lower your stress. And this podcast, as we told you, sponsored by BetterHelp. Steve Dangle podcast listeners get 10% off their free first month at BetterHelp.com/SDP. That's BetterHelp.com/SDP. Steve Dangle podcast is now sponsored in part by StatHead. Powered by Hockey Reference. StatHead is the easiest to use and most powerful sports research tool on the internet. With a StatHead subscription, you can go inside the Hockey Reference database and answer your questions about hockey stats and history. You don't have to just remember them like Steve Dangle does.
Well, Can't all be perfect like me.
You want to know what rookie had the most hat tricks? Who scored the most goals in their entire career? 5-on-5? You can look that up. You can do it all with StatHead, Corsi, Fenwick. It's all there. You can try StatHead for free for 2 months by going to stathead.com and using the promo code STP to sign up for a monthly subscription. That's 2 free months of Hockey StatHead. Yes, Jesse?
I have a StatHead stat.
Oh, okay, go.
Which player scored the most career regular season goals against Martin Brodeur?
The most?
Yeah.
Has to be a divisional rival, right?
You would think so. Most regular season goals against Martin Brodeur.
Quickly, this is a short ad.
That's free.
Simon Gagne!
Yeah, that's right.
19! That stuff you can look up directly on StatHead.
Try StatHead for free for 2 months by going to stathead.com and using the promo code SDP to sign up for a monthly subscription. 2 free months, Hockey StatHead, or you can try the All Sports plan, which will give you similar tools to exploring baseball, pro football, and basketball reference. Use that promo code SDP. The game to watch last night, as much as we all love the Detroit-Toronto game, the game to watch last night was Dallas-Vegas. This was playoff implications.
You bastard.
And
Jesse just showed me the text.
Jesse is very excited to talk about Jake Ottinger, and we will in a second. But I want you to know that right now, Nashville has 95 points, Dallas has 95 points, and Vegas has 91 with 2 games left. Nashville holds the tiebreak over the two of them, so if neither Nashville or Dallas won the next 2 games, Nashville still gets in if Vegas ties them up. Okay.
So basically, it's just Dallas.
It's just Dallas. But the Vegas Golden Knights are pretty darn close to missing the playoffs here. And I believe they hold the tie break over Dallas if they tie it up. If they finish the season at 95 points each, Vegas will make it.
But they don't control their own destiny.
They do not. 7-round shootout. Jason Robertson scored twice to reach the 40-goal mark, and they are so close. But what I loved to hear was Vegas' coach Pete DeBoer, not known for being the most positive guy over the last couple of weeks. He said, "We've still got a pulse. We're not eliminated."
Did you see his pregame quote?
I'm proud of our group. We came in and played a hell of a game.
Have I just not been paying attention? He's like the least likable coach.
I think it's because he's on the West Coast and you don't see him as much over here.
Yeah, but when asked about Robin Leonard, he's like, I'm just focusing on the guys who are here. And he didn't do it in like the typical coach way of, how
is Vegas just going to alienate every star goalie they have?
Yeah. Oh,
it's the most important position in the game.
I think he's going to get fired.
He has to.
Yeah, so he's
it's not even, to be honest with you, is it really his fault or is it a bunch of injuries?
I think life leaves room for both. I think it can be both. By the way, Jason Robertson with the 2 goals. I can't remember. Was it Kyle Cushman I was talking to on Twitter? The Dallas Stars had themselves a time at the 2017 draft. Miro Heiskanen,
good one,
3rd overall, and in the second round they get Jason Robertson. In the same draft, they got guys who are 6th and 7th ranked in scoring for that draft class.
Wow.
And one of them plays D.
That's pretty great.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, nice. I like that. So that, it's a heck of a game. Jesse, Ottinger was the guy that really stood out for you.
Yeah, there was a moment in the 3rd period where Vegas was really turning it on. You could see that they wanted the regulation win. I was actually, Steve, I was on the phone with you when I was watching that 3rd period, and I was like, should Vegas pull the goalie here? Because you need the regulation win. You can't let Dallas get that extra point. I would, if I'm Pete DeBoer, I'm thinking about pulling the goalie because your season's on the line, but they didn't end up doing it. But at that moment, when Vegas was really getting all the shots peppered on Ottinger, he was absolutely unbelievable. There's like 4 saves where it could have been, depending on if they make the playoffs, a season-saving save at that moment for Ottinger. And when we were going through all that Campbell mess, and we don't know what's happening with the Leafs goalie situation, Jake Ottinger was the guy I really wanted, but there was never a chance. But Dallas had so many goalies going into the season. There were like 4 goalies. And they're sending down just bona fide starters in the NHL just because they didn't have room for them on their roster.
And it kept working.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, is Jake Ottinger going to be a guy who's going to be available? But they clearly picked the right guy. And he was, and even in the 3-on-3 overtime, like there's a couple magical saves that he made. And then the shootout is where it all came to a head. And just shutting out Vegas, like not allowing any goals in the shootout. It was absolutely unbelievable. Credit to Ottinger for standing on his head for that game, because Dallas is not there offensively, and without that goaltending, I don't know if they ever win that game.
So I asked a rude question, and this is not a shot at this player, but was that game the most important most important NHL game of Jack Eichel's career?
Yes.
Man, dude's had a tough career.
That was the most important game of Jack
man,
Eichel's
I feel bad for
professional career, yeah.
Followed by the next one.
Yeah.
And hopefully the next one, if he's lucky. Yikes, man.
It sucks. It sucks for him.
I don't know if there's a way to find this out, but I would love to know what the most amount of actual dollars spent and still misses the playoffs teams are in the last, say, 10 years. Because if you look at the two most expensive teams this year, it's the Montreal Canadiens and the Vegas Golden Knights, both missing the playoffs. Now, Montreal, obviously, major injuries. Vegas, obviously, major injuries. But both are at about $92 million. Montreal's 92.5. Vegas is almost even at 92.
Trying to think of the last time two conference final opponents both missed the playoffs the next year.
Yeah.
They were both in the Final Four.
Against each other.
Like,
if I had told you last year that Vegas and Montreal would not make the playoffs, everybody would have believed me about Montreal. Nobody would have believed me about Vegas.
No. Not a person. They were a top 5 Stanley Cup contender. Probably.
And
on paper.
It's still maybe they are. Right?
Oh, like, they could definitely watch them win the freaking lottery.
Yeah, I don't.
Or do they even have their own pick?
I don't think. Oh, that's a good question. Let me have a look. It
must be protected.
Do not, but it is protected.
It must be. Yeah.
Traded away on the 4th of November. For Jack Eichel. Condition is if Vegas' first round pick in the 2022 draft is a top 10 pick, then Buffalo will transfer their 2024 third round pick instead. I still think they get it. I don't know how that works. They may still get it.
No, because
all
of hockey Twitter would be freaking out about it.
Oh, that would have been good. God, that would have been delicious.
Mm.
Yeah, I think...
Are you kidding? Like, we're talking about like, oh no, the jury's still out on the Jack Eichel.
No,
you talk about, imagine getting Tuck, Krebs, and Shane Wright.
So if the pick is a top 10 pick, Vegas will instead transfer their 2023 first round pick to Buffalo.
Oh, there.
And if Vegas' first round pick in the 2022 draft is a top 10 pick, then Vegas will also transfer their 2024 second instead, because they transferred their 2021 first and their 2023 second.
So this is gonna.
All right. So awesome. They win the lottery, they still get the first overall.
Yeah,
is what we're saying.
Oh my God! Can you friggin' imagine? That would be despicable. Even the second or third pick winning any of the lotteries.
Well, what if they're 11th? Like then Buffalo is drafting in the top 3 or top 5 and 11th.
Oh my God.
That's a solid. Assuming Buffalo doesn't screw it up, that's a pretty solid start.
What are the odds for that? I think they made them worse, right?
What do you mean?
I think for Vegas to even move up,
yeah,
it's like 2%.
It's
isn't
poor.
it?
It's very poor.
But it's possible.
It's Tampa, Boston.
Getting 2 first round picks. I mean, Boston had 3, and the best player they got out of it was Jake DeBrusk. Could have had Barzal and Connor and Shabbat. But I look back to 2 players who are sort of at the end of their career. One who's about to head into the playoffs, but another whose career is literally over. The Ducks drafted Getzlaf and Perry in the same round.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
Same round. Capitals, underratedly, Ovechkin and Mike Green in the same round. People forget how freaking good Mike Green was.
What always goes down in history in my mind is one of the worst of those. The complete opposite is the Bruins trio of picks.
That's what I just said.
Oh, is that the one you're referring to?
Go ahead and repeat yourself, Jesse. I'm going to send a shitty text to Adam.
Hey, I bet Jesse's going to repeat the thing I said.
Talking about Jake DeBrusk.
I think Emily Kaplan.
That's the same one. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the same one.
Yeah. Emily Kaplan, I think, deserves a huge shout out for that Leonard story, too. Because, man,
yes,
one of the things about being a reporter that absolutely sucks is when you know something's true and the team comes out and goes, no, it's not. and then a bunch of fans from that team go, hey, stupid reporter, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You're stupid. Now, here's a reporter that's a woman. And that's even worse because people are shittier to them.
Oh.
And it's fucking crazy the kind of heat that Emily took after that story took. Because remember, it was April 22nd when she broke that.
Yep.
That's like almost a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 3 days later, Vegas is like, okay, fine. He's getting in season-ending surgery, but it's for the cap reasons or something like that. There's
depending on the reporter, though, all the team has to do is deny it, and fans will be like, yeah, no, it's bullshit. But, well, no, it's probably bullshit. Oh, it was Emily Kaplan? Oh, shit.
yeah, we can't.
Right?
Yeah,
there was definitely an air of, oh, it was Emily Kaplan who said it. Fuck, it's true.
That's a really
so
good
what's
source
the
matters.
saying?
Source matters.
100%. And it was her, and everyone's just like, oh, shit, I guess he's done. Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? And
Whose reputation are you going with, right?
I take no relish in the fact that it's not. By the way, we carved Vegas like a jack-o'-lantern last show, not knowing that their goalie wanted to get season-ending surgery, and they're like, okay, but please back up for this game.
Yeah.
What happens, by the way, like people weren't talking enough about like what happens if Logan Thompson goes down with an injury and Robin Leonard has to come into that game
Mm-hmm.
and he suffers an injury that jeopardizes his career. Who's liable for that? Is it just tough shit you agreed to be in the game?
Yes, that's the answer.
Yeah, because the team doctor, according to Emily, the team doctor did say this is the best course of action. And Vegas,
what's the best course of action? Season-ending
no,
surgery?
season-ending surgery.
Right. But
so they'd be going against the team doctor.
No. They allowed him. The team doctor said he could play. Like, he could play through it.
He said, okay, here's what she wrote.
Yeah.
ESPN sources, Robin Leonard told Vegas on Thursday he was getting surgery. Team doctor agreed it was the best course of action after evaluation on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Then team asked goalie to delay and back up last night before allowing it. They cited cap implications per sources, and I'm assuming that's because they would have had to bring somebody else up and they'd be over.
He's still, even though he's out, he's still on the roster. Like, he isn't on IR, none of that, because he still needs to be on the team for them to play games with all their players.
So again, like we talked about this with Eichel, like he was in pain with his neck every day, and he wanted to get a certain type of surgery, and his team wouldn't let him get that surgery. So he just had to live with that pain every day. Can you imagine how poorly he slept with a fucked up neck for that many months?
Oh,
you know
Eichel?
what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the stress and the mood and all that. And Leonard's got this shoulder that sucks. And like it confirmed by his team he needs surgery. And I can't get it because you fucked the cap up.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just sit here in pain. because
And what
you
would that
fucked
do?
the cap
Put him
up.
over 50 grand or something? Like, it's not
I
crazy.
don't know. Well, and this is a guy who blew the whistle on basically teams handing out painkillers in the NHL. What do you think they were prescribing him for his fucked up shoulder? I have a few guesses. I don't know for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's been playing like this by choice since March because he wanted to help the Vegas Golden Knights get to the playoffs. And,
of course.
And the thing that pushed him to go to the team doctor and be like, hey, can I get surgery, is Pete DeBoer being an asshole. And like that, for me, that's what it comes back to is Vegas management isn't really good at managing people and like their personal relationships with
They're
these
not in the
guys.
people business, that's
no,
for sure.
they're in the winning business, and they're winning at all costs, and it doesn't seem like it seems like they're sacrificing professional relationships with these guys in favor of winning.
I get the Vegas fans argument, by the way. They're like, whoa, they've done so well the last few years. Why are you being so hard on them? And it's like, no, we 100% get that. But you have to understand with the talent on this roster, they should have been doing better this year as well. They fell way short of expectations and also did it while shooting themselves in the foot several times along the way.
Yeah, they should be commended for being on third base. They should be criticized for getting thrown out trying to steal home.
Yeah. And injuries are a part of that.
Sure.
Like half the team's been injured the entire season.
Yep.
So but it's also, hey, you put yourselves in these situations, you know?
Let me throw it to another team.
Yeah.
Does this not put what Tampa Bay did with Kucherov into perspective?
What do you mean?
Because everyone was like, oh, they just tucked away Kucherov for like a couple months and saved him for the playoffs. And I think I made the point, and several other people were like, okay, but that means they didn't have Kucherov, which means they had to make the playoffs without Kucherov.
And they still finished first.
And they still killed it. It's easy. Like, it's not like I think they were second or third, but it's not like teams can just take their best player or one of their best players, throw them on LTIR and be like, mission accomplished.
Right. Tampa has that mentality though, and that's what I think has led them to those back-to-back chips. Because like last season, when they had a COVID outbreak, I forget which team they were playing. It might have been the Stars because they were in that weird division, where they played with, I think it's 10 forwards or something like that and 5 defensemen. They were short like 3 guys. You remember when all the rosters, when you have the COVID, and they'd be, I believe they were down to like 15 skaters total, and they won that game.
Of course they did.
And I think it was Friedman who reported, like, when he talked to them post game and was talking to the situation around that, their mentality going into that was, oh, this is a fun challenge. Let's see if we can win this game down 3 guys compared to the other team. This is going to be a fun game. Oh, thank you for waking us up. Now we got something to play for tonight. It just won't be another game in March or February. We have a challenge tonight. I'm going to wake up and play extra hard tonight. So Tampa's so crazy with that mindset, and that's why they're super dangerous here versus the Leafs.
What?
Oh, just... We want to see the Leafs achieve greatness.
Yeah,
and
we do.
What a privilege to be able to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Seriously.
Well, if you want to be great, you got to beat the best, right? You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And they are the reigning best.
You know what? Like Leaf fans, a lot of them have been asking me, like, who would you rather, Tampa or Boston? Last year, the Leafs got the Habs. We lost the privilege to ask that question ever again. Who would you rather? You got the ultimate who would you rather and lost. Every team in the NHL would have picked the Habs.
Are the Montreal Canadiens the worst team to ever make the playoffs?
They might be the worst. They might be the worst team to make the Stanley Cup final.
By record?
By record.
No, because teams from the 80s, like when over half the league was getting in. No, the Leafs had like sub 500 records and got in.
When there was 21 teams. But if we're talking about in the most, like, let's say
Cap era,
but post,
let's say
in the Cap era,
they must have been, right? Because
they finished 18th, right? So
that's bubble year. When
bubble year they finished 23rd or 24th.
24th. Oh, jeez, they were 24th.
And
they were
the last of the cutoff teams.
Right. And last year was 18th overall in the standing.
Yeah,
that's brutal.
And I'll grant you that they didn't get to play American teams, but I don't think it would have gone much better.
It might have been worse.
It might have been worse. And the Leafs still lost to them. You're right, Steve. But I think
they've lost. You can't ask that ever again.
No. I'm excited for this series, though. I'm really excited for this Tampa series because, to me, like, you know, I think there is that bit of, you can't be a Leaf fan and not feel a little bit like, how is this going to go? But you feel that going into every playoffs anyway. And to me, it's like in consecutive years, Boston, heartbreaking, both of them. Like the Washington series was not heartbreaking. It was, it's nice to be here.
Yes.
Boston, heartbreaking.
2019.
Columbus, heartbreaking. Montreal, heartbreaking. Oh. And at this point, you're like, okay, let's try the other thing. And I think that they're starting to feel that. I felt like when Jason Spezza said, hey, that Montreal series really, really stuck in our craw. Like, I can understand, first off, a not particularly well-coached team against Bruce Cassidy losing in Game 7 both years. I can understand that. I can understand a couple of really bad games in each of those series from Freddie. And I know Leaf fans think I'm too hard on Freddie, but there were games in that series where he was unstoppable. And then there were games where it's like he can't stop anything.
Right.
And then you go to Columbus, a series they absolutely should not have lost. By the way, the Leafs didn't make the playoffs that year.
No.
Technically not. And then Montreal, you have that devastating injury to Tavares in Game 1. But you need to be able to overcome that.
And they did.
And so it's, to me, I feel like they're like, okay, I am fucking done with this. And if you look at it from a pressure perspective, I want to ask you guys this, because what I was saying earlier, Florida and Washington, Florida's got the pressure on them. They've lost in the first round. They haven't made the second round ever since, like, they went to the finals in 96. That's the last time That Eastern Conference semi was the last time they won a playoff series.
Yeah, they won. I think they won their qual. No,
but that doesn't count. That's not playoffs.
I think they might have lost to the Islanders.
Okay, yeah, probably did.
I can't remember if it was their qualifier or the first round.
So the Florida Panthers have all the pressure on them. Who's got the pressure on them in this series? Because Toronto obviously has the first round losses, but then Tampa is a 2-time Stanley Cup winner.
I would say,
and they're very good.
I would say Tampa is both the favorite and has the least pressure.
You give Tampa the favorite?
Yeah, they're the back-to-back Cup champs. Everyone, as soon as the playoffs start, you crumple up the standings and you throw them in the garbage. Like, everyone knows who the favorite is. It's the guys who won the Cup back-to-back years. Like, why are we all playing games here? I know it's a new season and everything begins anew. Why are we playing games? It's the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're the favorites. Let's be honest here. I'm not saying the Leafs are screwed or I don't expect them to win. I'm just let's call it what it is.
You're giving the weight to
the favorite.
Okay. Jesse, do you agree with that take?
Yeah, and like to answer your question, I couldn't even find like the pressure point for Tampa. Like, what's the pressure for them?
If they lose, they go, I guess I'll stare at my 2 rings all summer.
Oh, let's go watch tape of the boat parade.
Yeah.
There's no pressure for them.
I think there's a little bit. I do think that
what's the other side?
It's a lot.
You know?
We're going to tear apart the entire team.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Which I don't think the Leafs would do.
I don't know. Depends how it goes.
The Willie might be taking a trip to the moon, you know?
Oh, come
blast
on.
him off in a rocket ship. He doesn't
No way.
show up.
No way.
Like,
he showed up big last year. He'll show up this year. I believe it.
Okay, we lost in the first round. We got to tear it all apart. Wait, sorry. Who did we lose to again? The team that it could potentially win 3 cups in a row. I don't know. That kind of sounds like you played a really good team. But the context of the Leafs is different.
Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about, because we are going to do a shorter show today, a little bit longer on Friday.
I forgot we were talking about Vegas, Dallas.
Screw them.
I think we've exhausted Vegas. They're silly bananas, both of them.
The Friday show is going to be so much more interesting because we'll have more information. And it'll either be done or not. That's what it is.
I want to talk about Milan Lucic.
Okay.
A guy that, frankly, I don't think has ever been able to live up to the contract that he signed in Edmonton, but he has found a way to become a player that is useful in Calgary.
Yes.
I mean, we forget, Milan Lucic had 50 points in his first season in Edmonton, and everybody was like, wow, he sucks. And then the next year, in 82 games, he had 34 points, and everybody's like, whoa, he could really suck. And then the next year, in 79 games, 20 points. That's a precipitous fall.
Yeah.
But what's been amazing ever since is he's held tight at that, but he's found a way to become the character guy that they all said he was, that he's always been. I mean, he's always been a character guy. He's always been like a leader. But what he did last night, screening the Nashville goalie in one of the goals and being a real part of the swagger and attitude of the Calgary Flames.
I'm trying to look up his hit on Matt Duchene.
Oh, my God.
That was not...
devastating.
Not okay. It was...
Well, he got it. It looked like a clean hit to me. Am I wrong? I saw it this morning at 5 a.m.
He got interference on it, right? So it's one of those... Yeah, I'm just... Oh, my freaking God. He sent him to the Shadow Realm, man. But he's got the perfect coach for him. If anyone...
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Like, that hurt.
Who's that maniac? So Borowiecki throws off his gloves and then immediately is like, I've made an egregious error. But then some other pred comes in, like actually full bore, like I'm going to kick Milan Lucic's ass. And I just want to say, good for you, you absolute nut.
Also, clean hit, don't fight.
I think it was a clean hit.
Yeah, he doesn't have the puck. The one thing that video doesn't show is
where's the puck. Yeah, that's fair.
Right? It's a clean hit if he's eligible to be hit. Which
you know what, Steve? Good point.
Hey guys, look at the hockey analysis on this guy.
Well, the clip, it just doesn't show if he's eligible to be hit. So I don't know. I don't know. This is all I've seen.
We weren't watching the game.
If it's interference, which is what he was calling for. Good on Duchene for popping right up.
Can't do that.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is most likely they're going to play each other in the first round here. And it felt like a playoff game. That was a great flippin' hockey game. And you have Tkachuk getting into it. You have Lucic getting into it. The Calgary Flames, like we talked about last week or last show, 4 guys essentially with 40 goals. That's crazy. But let's talk about how fucking mean they are.
Oh, they're
Lindholm,
incredibly
Lucic, Tkachuk. Ugh. Imagine 7 games of that. 4 games of that. Ugh.
The depth, the coaching, it feels like their first couple rounds could be quick, but the longer any series with the Calgary Flames goes, it's in their favor. Because
they'll grind you.
You go through 4 games of that shit. The grind from 5 to 6 to 7 is going to be exponential. They have a really, really good shot at winning the Stanley Cup. Also, I think we have an underratedly good shot at getting a Battle of Alberta.
We could. Now, why do you say that? With Edmonton's potential, they are potentially, they're playing LA.
Those are locked in.
That's locked? Okay.
Yeah, Edmonton, LA.
So LA doesn't have Doughty, and also the playoffs, a big part of the playoffs is just sort of hitting the right stride at the right time. And you know who has been absolute trash all season long, but has decided to play his best hockey in like 2 years?
Mike Smith.
Yeah. He has undeniably, listen, people are going to be like, oh man, people were hating on Mike Smith. No, people were hating on the mountain of evidence that showed he was no longer a good goalie.
But he almost scored last night.
And then he almost,
that was crazy.
Not just playing great, what ridiculous swagger. That guy had 2 shots on goal.
Yeah.
Mike Smith's currently on a 5-game winning streak. And
I thought it was 6.
Is it 6 games? 6 game winning streak. But I want to go over the last 5 games because what he's done against these opponents has been absolutely spectacular. So he has 2 shutouts against Nashville and Vegas. 1 playoff team, 1 right on the cusp.
1 desperate team.
34 of 36 saves versus Dallas. 34 of 37 saves versus Colorado. 33 of 34 versus Pittsburgh. That's his last 5 games.
And Pittsburgh's somewhat desperate too.
He's been unbelievable. I don't know how this old man is pulling this out.
And Evander Kane had a hat trick the other night. Connor McDavid has just been. Remember Huberdeau led the league in points 2 days ago?
And then McDavid's like, oh, wait,
6 points up.
I don't
the
think
Art
so.
Ross trophy is my trophy. How dare you?
That is...
That's I will hear every argument for a Hart Trophy for McDavid.
I also say this, Edmonton, just look at a basic stat, the most basic stat of all, wins. Edmonton has 4 more than LA.
They squeak them out. They have a similar thing to the Leafs where they get no benefit of the doubt because frankly, based on their past, they don't deserve it until they potentially beat the LA Kings, and then all of a sudden, away you go. But on the other side, if they lose to the LA Kings, how do you trust that team ever again? It's a really tough one.
Well, it will. I mean, I've been personally very hard on them for not figuring out the goalie situation. If the goalie gets hot at the right time, this is when the magic happens. So who called 97-year-old Mike Smith?
We were all right in criticizing Ken Holland for doing that because what's happened here is he's fallen ass backwards into a good goalie.
No, it's like when Jay Beagle scored that 1 overtime goal for Vancouver, and all Vancouver fans were like, see, you're stupid. Jay Beagle's
dumbass.
Great. Right. No, Holland, he didn't do a good job. He's just, in the end, it kind of worked out.
Isn't that nice? When you fuck it up and it still works in your favor. It's great. I love that.
It wasn't a good decision.
They were going out and looking at every goalie, and
they just looked.
And the guy, he just happens to be playing his best hockey of the season. I mean, what was he pretending?
Right.
He was hiding it.
He was holding back for this moment.
I don't know. Well, boy, he was a method actor when he got mad. I think it's just the Oilers are, right gameplay at right time, and the Kings are without their best defenseman. It's a tough go.
And another matchup I think is going to be interesting as the week kind of goes on is so Minnesota plays Calgary, which is not going to be a fun game for Minnesota or Calgary. Both very good teams. 1 point separation between the two of them, although they're not in the same division, so it doesn't matter as much. But Minnesota is fighting Calgary because they need home ice advantage over St. Louis. St. Louis is currently tied with Minnesota at 109 points, although Minnesota's got a game in hand. And That is going to matter immensely. That series, no one's talking about it yet, but I feel like that series that's two teams that are high scoring but could tear each other apart.
Jesse just had the standings up. Minnesota and St. Louis should not be playing each other. That's such bullshit. They're 3rd and 4th in the West.
Yeah. The Leafs get screwed on the other side too. And New York gets like a huge advantage for no reason.
Who are they?
New York's going to be the 4th seed, and they're playing Pittsburgh, who's the 7th.
Yeah, but they could potentially, if the Rangers win, like could the Rangers not pass Carolina? I'm pretty sure they can.
No, they got 108 points at Tampa.
114.
Oh, never mind. Sorry,
glasses.
Last, I literally, I see the logos.
That's crazy.
I cannot
really?
read those numbers.
Yeah.
Steve is a foot and a half away from Jesse's computer and can't see it.
Can't read those numbers.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
So I think that Minnesota-St. Louis series, and I know we'll do our full playoff preview, but man, Minnesota-St. Louis is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Marc-Andre Fleury being as amazing as he's been, too. Oh.
What a pickup.
Hell of a pickup.
And noted worth 3 firsts, Jacob Middleton.
What?
No, it's a joke.
Oh, okay. All right.
He wasn't worth 3.
Who do you start
What do you mean?
in Minnesota? Cam Talbot or Marc-Andre Fleury?
Fleury's been 8-1 since or is he 9-1 now since he got there?
8-1 or 9-1, yeah.
But Cam Talbot's your starting goalie.
He was.
Was.
Sorry, if I go out and I acquire Marc-Andre Fleury, you're not my starting goalie anymore. If the Leafs went out and got Marc-Andre Fleury, is Jack Campbell the starting goalie?
Let's ask Alan Walsh.
What number of teams in the NHL would trade for Marc-Andre Fleury and be like, hello, Marc-Andre, you're our backup?
The Vegas Golden Knights.
Yes. Correct.
They
That is
didn't
the
trade
only
for him.
correct
though.
answer.
They claimed him. They didn't trade for him.
No, they did trade for him because
they did trade for
they
him.
made a deal.
Oh!
And they got
So it works.
They got him and a second rounder.
Yeah.
Because Pittsburgh was like, please take him because we want to build around Matt Murray.
Okay, so you guys are like, oh, Marc-Andre Fleury is 8-1. Also, he lost last night. So
sorry. Bum.
let me tell you his save percentages over the last 4 games. 840, 840, 893, 867. Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, Alan? Yeah, no, he's right. He's right beside me. What, you want me to give him a right or a left? Okay, both. Okay, well, he's pretty tall. We'll see. Okay,
Cam Talbot on the other hand.
Sorry, that was my mom. That was she was calling and asking if I brought a coat.
Cam Talbot, on the other hand, in his last 5 games, is undefeated in regulation. He's 3-0-2.
Wowza.
Who do you start?
I think you go. I mean, those are 2 veteran goalies, and you can go into the playoffs fully saying, "Listen, I am gonna flip a coin, and I'm gonna start one in game 1, and the second you lose, I'm going to the other one in game whichever."
Mm-hmm.
I'd go. Oh boy.
I think you got to go Fleury.
I think I'd go Fleury too.
Yeah.
Even though his save percentage sucks, the team wins. So.
It's true. They did win a bunch of those games.
Let's do the press conference now. Should I read what it says?
Okay.
Should I read what it says?
I'm worried.
Balls.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath, and I noticed I have beautiful balls, thanks to Manscaped. That's what the script says.
You have to do it to song.
Do you take baths?
I don't take baths. I never do.
However, like most 34-year-old men.
However, I did use my Manscaped on my chest this weekend, and it brought it down considerably. Believe it or not, that's less. That's less than I normally have. If you're watching the video, you'll see.
What about everybody listening?
Your skin, your hair, your armpits. You'll just
describe
guess.
your hair.
It's
describe how coarse it is.
So it's coarse
Tell
and
us.
it's like a forest. But Manscaped trims right through it.
Steel wool chest.
Use the promo code DANGLE. 20% off and free shipping with the code. And basically, it's good for everything. Not only
your chest is more than 20% off right now.
You're right. It's like an 80% off deal right here. And you know what? It's kind of cool too. When you trim your chest down, you can feel it like a little bit more, and it's like, ooh, I can feel my. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a bit tingly
not
on your
really.
chest.
What's going on?
What's the
I like
code
it.
word? Yeah.
All I'm saying is that
move on.
get 20% off and free shipping with the code DANGLE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off, free shipping, promo code DANGLE at manscaped.com. It's time to get wet and clean on your chest and balls with Manscaped Shower Routine.
Shave around your nipples.
Have we told you about Athletic Greens? If you're looking for better gut health, more energy, stronger immune system, really easy and natural way to do it, and that is Athletic Greens. And I'm sure you'll agree, not all of us are a huge fan of taking pills or vitamins in the morning. Do you guys take your pills and vitamins every morning?
When I remember.
Which is when? How many times?
Seldom.
Jesse, do you take your pills and vitamins?
No, I use Athletic Greens.
There it is.
Oh.
Athletic Greens.
Well, I got to get on board.
It'll help you get the extra vitamins that you actually need, and some of the stuff that just isn't in your cabinet and not easy to find. And by the way, it tastes good. It goes with any diet: keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, whatever it is you are. And there is less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemical or artificial anything, and it still tastes good. That's the key, right? Everybody wants to know, does it actually taste good, or does it taste like something that cleans my toilet? It tastes good, okay? So right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with a convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into flu and cold season, because here we are back in flu and cold season.
Perennial.
Isn't that great?
Heading into life.
Just go to athleticgreens.com. We will give you 1 free year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. athleticgreens.com/STP. That's athleticgreens.com/STP. Take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
The Presser. SDP.
That sentence did not sound like it was done.
Yeah, no.
And I was going to wait to complete it at the end of it, because we'll do a longer show on Friday.
There you go.
Oh, fun. We have not found Cameron.
Oh, no. Really?
Just to let everybody know.
Cameron from Philly?
Cameron from Philly, who called in to the Anthony Gargano show and let him trash us, has not been located. We have not been able to track him down. Cameron from Philly, if you're out there, we want to hear from you. We want to say fuck you.
I have to.
No, we don't.
I have to thank Cameron for providing me my new favorite clip from the show.
Cameron, what the fuck?
I saved it to my phone.
Did anybody from the station reach out?
No.
Oh, really?
No,
they
no.
didn't like who's... Oh, okay.
I haven't checked out. I've watched the Anthony Gargano show from Tuesday, but I don't think we got mentioned or anything on
it would have been fun to have them on.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would.
If the Raptors become the first team ever in NBA history to overcome a 3-0 deficit, I'm going to call them live. And I'm going to record it.
You should.
I'm going to call in and just
fucking
dump on them. I hope their producer lets me through.
Hey, it's Jesse Blake. Heard of me now?
Heard our stupid network.
I'm excited for that game, man.
We should just flood their phone line with dinosaur impressions. Hang up.
That idea of me calling in, by the way, was from Sir Digby Chicken Caesar on our Discord, who said Jesse needs to call in that show when the series ends.
True.
Yes. Steve, another thing from last episode, a lot of people were very impressed with your Elmo impression. Adam and I were very unimpressed because we've heard it for 14 years.
Yeah.
So.
That's because I've been doing it. I've been doing it for so long.
Steve's been doing that. Steve did that on the announcements at Moet.
And people,
Yeah.
People liked it, Zoe.
No, people wanted to attack the office. Could you imagine a bunch of teenagers at like 8 a.m.
It was stupid.
hearing Elmo do it? It's like, I'm going to kill that guy.
Elmo did a very good job on the announcement. I would play weird music.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to get people hyped up for the school day. I would play Flogging Molly, and one day I played the Halo theme song. Imagine
like
going
that.
to class. Da-ga-da-da, da-ga-da-da.
Anyway.
Yeah, you got to. I don't know. It helps that I have a toddler now. It's very entertaining. For him.
It is.
Toronto 18 on the press conference server channel on our Discord wants to know if Jordan Staal is the most overrated player of the last 15 years. I thought it was such a random take. But they said, can you take a look at his career high in points?
I'm looking right now.
Look at it.
Okay.
What is it? And what is this hot take that has come out of our Discord?
48, 50. 50 is his highest.
No.
50.
He scored 30 goals as a rookie.
Yep. 42 points, though.
What?
29 goals, 13 assists, 42 points in his rookie season.
He might be.
I don't know if that's true.
No, but
his point production has not been there for the name recognition.
I think there's some name recognition happening there. Certainly.
He's always been a two-way forward.
Yeah.
Second overall pick.
I would like to know exactly what you think is overrated. Is it like is it the money that he makes proportional to the
where he was drafted, all that stuff?
I understand.
I think
what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
But
first round, second overall pick. I could see that maybe. He was a second overall pick.
Very long career.
Makes $6 million a year forever and ever. Amen.
$6 million is a lot.
Also, he signed that deal right before. I think it was right before the lockout. He had a 10-year, $60 million deal.
I tell you what, people who get more points than him don't do. Be 6'4", 220.
It's true.
And have a butt chin.
Strong Facebook.
Yo, don't make fun of people's appearance.
It's a strong... No, I got a pudding chin. I would love to have a butt chin. Are you kidding? I would love to have Jordan Staal's jaw. This is just me making an observation. I'm not making fun of him. What would you call it? He's got a chin dimple. He's got a chin dimple. I have an overbite.
I was not ready for that.
I know. I didn't know what I was expecting.
I would much rather have a chin dimple than an overbite.
It wasn't this. This is where I thought this was going.
I think, a guy that's made $6 million every year. He's a leader on the team. Are you paying probably too much for a two-way forward? Maybe. He was pretty effective in those early years with Pittsburgh too. It was like, remember, it was Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Jordan Staal, right? It was like that was the
and I was wrong. He had 29.
29 goals. But that was some pretty effective years in his early career, and I don't think that he hasn't been effective in Carolina.
And got traded on his wedding day.
He did?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, he got traded on his wedding day. I remember that story. I want to say, wasn't it like Brandon Sutter? Or Sutter?
Would have been Rutherford who made that deal.
Yeah. Oh, and he was part of the Penguins team that won the first cup of the Crosby era.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That was the big thing.
Yeah. How many forwards who make over $6 million have not scored 20 goals in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive seasons?
Maybe Milan Lucic. Milan Lucic
does he make over 6 though?
He makes 6.
Okay. Ooh. When's his last 20 goal season?
It was the first year in Edmonton. First year in Edmonton. So that was 4 years ago.
So he has a 20 goal season more recent than Jordan Staal.
Louis Eriksson?
16, 17.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And he's in the last year of his deal.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Boy.
This is
20 goals?
20 goal season.
When was Kyle Okposo's last? And it's not fair because he's been injured.
Yeah. He's had a resurgent. Does he have 20 goals this year?
I don't know.
Okay, so Louis Eriksson's last 20-plus goal season was 15-16. Jordan Staal's last 20-plus was 15-16.
Wow.
And Okposo has 21 this year.
There you go.
His first 20-goal season since 15-16.
Yeah, this is for era-adjusted stats. This season's going to screw everything up.
It's wonky, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, when we were talking about Tavares, I didn't want to bring it up when you were like, he's a point a game. I was going to say
it means less this
there's 55 NHL players this season that are point a game.
Yeah, whatever. He's one of them.
He's not even one yet, I don't think.
Oh, really?
He's at 70-something, right?
Well, he's going to play the last game and help Marner get to 3 points with a hat trick. There you go. The way Marner would want it.
All right, and with that, we must wrap. So we'll see you later. We will see you Friday. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun, exciting end to the regular season. I can't wait till Friday night when some of the Leafs take on some of the Bruins.
Yeah, come say hi to us. Take a picture with my weak chin in person. And I can't grow facial hair. It sucks.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at AdamWYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.